Hello everyone, Sean Plays here with a special unboxing of the GPD Win Max. So this guy just showed up today. We're going to do a quick unboxing, try to get this set up, and maybe play a couple games on it for just a little bit to show everyone what this system's about. So for those who don't know, the GPD Win Max is the latest version of GPD's palm top gaming computers. So they tout these devices as kind of the best or most powerful consoles, handheld gaming consoles. So this is a Win 2. So behind this is the Win Max. We're going to look at these accessories first. So something that's really interesting with the Win Max is one of the first laptop PC type devices to ship with I want to say it's a gallium nitride charger. So this guy right here is, I believe, 65 watts, and this is very small for a 65 watt charger. By comparison, this is like a 15 watt Raspberry Pi charger for a Pi 4. So this is far more powerful, and it's barely any bigger than this like 15 watt charger. So that's really impressive right there. It's a USB-C charger. They're using standards just like they did for the previous GPD Win. And also in this box here, we've got, I assume, the USB cable. So I don't think this is going to have a lot of accessories in this box. Yep. So we've got just a standard looking USB C to C cable to match our adapter, and we'll pull this off. There we go. And just a standard USB cable. It's really nice though that it's USB-C, makes it so you get a lot of options for aftermarket chargers using the same charger with multiple devices. I'm gonna plug this in over on my desk real quick, so we may need it for the rest of this. All right, we are plugged in. So here's the big reveal right here. This is the Win Max. Been waiting for this. I kickstarted this not that long ago, I guess. Kickstarted this a few months ago. I kickstarted it the day this Kickstarter started, and it was supposed to come out originally in July. It got delayed. I mean, the whole world's kind of been turned upside down since this was kickstarted, or more so than we expected. So this is one of the first production units out there. And just to show you how this compares, that is the Win 2. It is much, much bigger than the Win 2. It looks like slightly thicker. And what's really nice about this is it has a lot of ports. So the Win 2, well, looking at this port comparison. So Win 2 is a really cool machine. It's kind of like carrying around something about the size of a 3DS XL with you, and you can see it had has basically a USB-C. That's what it charged with. It was also an actual USB port, headphone jack, full-size USB 3.0, micro SD slot, and a micro HDMI. This still has charging over the USB-C, but has two USB-Cs. One of these is actually Thunderbolt. So this little laptop has Thunderbolt, so you can come home and dock it. You can use an external GPU, and this could be your only laptop in theory if the keyboard doesn't get to you too much, because it is going to be a smaller keyboard. But as we'll see in a moment, it's a lot better than what was on the 2. 2 full-size USB Type A's for 3.0, but instead of the micro HDMI, you get a full-size HDMI, which is wonderful, makes it really easy to plug in at your friend's house. Also note, we'll talk more about this in a moment, but on the GPD Win 2, it has L1, L2, L3, and then of course the right side, you'll notice there's only L1 and L2 and R1 and R2 on this. It's because they actually have clicky thumbsticks on this device. They even put in an Ethernet jack. It still has the micro SD, which we'll be using soon. And then this is the switch. So this switch was on top of the unit, like on the keyboard area on the previous one. But this switch, this is important because this changes between the mouse and keyboard modes of the controller. So the front has your headphone jack and microphone. And we got our bottom here that's got plenty of ventilation. It's a pretty beefy unit, plenty of battery. It's a nice metal top here though. So open this up. When we open this up, as I mentioned, this could be your only laptop if you can stand the keys, because the keys are not full size. If you compare these keys against something like an Apple keyboard, you can see they're a little bit smaller. It shouldn't be too bad, but if you're typing a lot of documents, the odd layout and the slightly smaller keys are probably going to eventually get to you. You'd still want something like a nice Dell, Lenovo, or a Apple if you're typing a lot of documents. But it is a vast improvement compared to the my fingerprints are all over, but compared to the GPD Win 2, it's an amazing improvement. Further improvements before we turn this thing on. As I mentioned, clicky thumbsticks. These don't click. The thumbsticks on the original just only do XY. They don't do any sort of button function. This D-pad is supposed to be substantially improved, and already I can feel just touching this here. It's clicky just the right amount. It looks really nice. It looks a lot like the D-pad from, say, the PSP. And we've got some very nice buttons here. They are a little smaller, but I don't think that's going to be a problem because they're nice and clicky. These are pretty nice. I'm hoping these are a little smoother after a lot of play. Up here we got our select, our menu, and our start buttons. We have those down here on this. I believe the menu is going to function as our Xbox button, but we'll find out once we start playing. So, and another thing that's interesting, we have a touchpad here. So the previous model doesn't have a touchpad. So even though you can switch and use the thumbstick as a mouse, you don't have to lose the mouse when you are using the touchpad, or sorry, when you are using these thumbsticks. You still have your touchpad, and it's a clicky touchpad too. So overall, quite nice so far. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this, and I'm going to go ahead and start this up. Rotate this so we can see what I'm doing here. All right. Power this on. So this comes with Windows 10. I think it's home. It might be Pro, but I want to say it's home. We'll find out when we get this turned on. I really hope this doesn't have Chinese menus. This was actually shipped directly from China. While we're okay, well, it does have Chinese menus, but we can immediately go to English. It's still a touch screen, just like the previous model. While it's booting up, so it actually came really well packaged. It came with this Really nice, very... Oh, Cortana. Yeah, I don't want to listen to you, Cortana. Not right now. So this is very protective. It fit the box that the GPD Win came in perfectly. You can just see here. This is basically what it came in inside of a box that also fit nicely. So it was very well packed. And as mentioned, it came very quickly. It came 2 days faster than expected. All right. Um, yes, we are in the United States. We are not in Europe. We do not need an adapter. Get the standard keyboard layout. Add a second one later. We're going to connect to my Wi-Fi network here. All right. All right, we're connected to Wi-Fi. Important stuff to do. Yep, look at all this important setup. It's doing lots of things. So my live unboxings and gameplays are amazing. Well, you just cut the video here and be like, the unboxing's done, but do you want to actually get into the system? Do you want to actually try to run some games? So, unfortunately, I couldn't. My GPD Win 2 somehow corrupted the boot drive. I don't know when that happened. I unfortunately hadn't used it for probably 2-3 months. It'd been quite a while since I used it, mostly because the GPD Win 2 is not as powerful as it really needs to be to play the latest games. And I did get a lot of good use out of it. I played a lot of emulators. I played a lot of Steam games, but it really couldn't handle the latest and greatest games. So this new one, instead of running basically a M3, something that's barely better than an Atom with some built-in graphics, it's still built-in graphics, but it's among the best built-in graphics that Intel has at the moment, and it's a Core i5, so it's substantially more powerful than the Core i3, the M3 that came in the GPD Win 2. And the Win 2 is great. It just is not nearly as powerful, but it's also much smaller and it's a less expensive system, especially now that this new one has come out. All right, pardon me while I enter my account. I'm going to let you guys look at my face more while I enter my account, so apologies. I know that that's what everyone's come for. Okay, so this keyboard, touch typing on this keyboard, it's not bad, it's not terrible, but it's not wonderful. It would definitely take some getting used to be able to type quickly on this keyboard on a regular basis. And please bear with me, I have a rather long password here. All right. We're at the part where Microsoft says, would you like to sell us your soul? So we're going to say no to all of this. Let's just not do that. Thanks, Microsoft. All right, setting up all my computer stuff now. It's probably going to say hi to me here and tell me stuff. Oh, it's getting everything ready. So, Brian, so what I plan to play on this primarily is probably use some emulation, of course. As I mentioned, I do have emulators loaded up on the micro SD card. I'll be plugging in shortly. Probably a lot of Steam games. I'm excited to try Borderlands 3 on it because I do play a lot of Borderlands 3 currently. For tonight, I'm hoping something I can get something to just run on it quickly tonight. But yeah, mostly Steam games, Grand Theft Auto, Borderlands 3, try Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Um, but then I've certainly on the original on the Win 2 that I have, I've actually played a lot of on the Win 2. I've actually played a lot of things such as I played through all of Chrono Trigger on it. That was a lot of fun. Um, I'm trying to remember what 3D games I played on it because it unfortunately this one really at the time it came out it struggled with anything that was a new game like less than a year old. Whereas this new one hopefully won't do that. So we are booted up. So the next step here is I'm gonna find out what if I have any Steam games on my SD card and see if my USB finished. And then we'll plug it in. It's I think over 8 inches on this one. Um, the previous one I believe was about 6. I don't think I have a ruler nearby to help measure. I suppose I could look it up. There we go. We got the SD card in. Choose. Well, I want to open that folder. All right, I do have some Steam games on here. So it's important to note the left trigger is actually your left click. What Steam games do I have? I have Pinball FX. I have the Chrono Trigger re-release. I have Final Fantasy 13. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy 13 was what I was playing on my my other one. So, and no, Greg, it's not going to blend because of, well, at least I'm not going to test that. In a moment, I'm going to plug it into the HDMI so I can share the screen. But first, I'm going to go download Steam. And yes, I'm going to use Edge. So you can use when you're in mouse mode with the game controller, you can use the D-pad to scroll. And I think it's recognizing how small this is. There we go. Now we're going to install Steam. Hopefully that won't take too long. Linus doesn't have to pay for his stuff anymore. And I don't know if Linus would blend it. He'd probably just drop it. We're almost updated. Then once we're in, I'll have to run the add some library folders, and then we can start playing games. All right, I'm going to log into my account. Almost into my account. Updating Steam information. And while it is updating information, let's see if this HDMI will work seamlessly here. Just going to duplicate the screen. I hope. All right, we've got the screen duplicated. I can see what I'm seeing. Steam has restarted, I believe, or is trying to. All right. Let me add in my libraries real quick. There we go, Steam library folders. While downloading, what are you downloading? Steamworks. Guess I might need that. All right, while it's downloading Steamworks, let's go do something. Let's go make this thing work. As I mentioned, I have Launchbox. On Launchbox, I have a lot of games. So I'm gonna just launch a Launchbox to start with. But on the Win 2, it did struggle a bit with Launchbox with a large number of games, and it really didn't run Big Box at all. So I'm excited to see how well this handles launch box and big box, see if that's a better experience. So it really helps be able to quickly get to your games. It's still Come on, Lunchbox. Not quite sure why this is so slow, because this is slower than it was on the other one. Might just be rebuilding a cache. I'm not sure. Just kick off an Atari 7800 emulator. Great game. I still have this. I still actually have the cartridge for this. Oh, I bet the sound's not coming through though. Should make sure you guys can hear this. Okay, should be coming on through. I do believe I muted it here. Let's try that again. Nice. The pause button was a huge improvement over the 2600. I need to actually replace the reset button. I have it kind of. It's probably been 25 years since I taped the reset button kind of together. It quit working. And if you open it up, maybe Brian, you know that when you open it up, there's those buttons kind of have like that clear plastic. I kind of popped that up and got the dirt and stuff out, and then taped it back on so it would work. I was really hoping the sound would come through, but it is not seeming like it's going to. Of course, I don't remember the start button on here. Oh, there we go. All right, we're moving. We might have sound. Something else to point out here. This is actually running a bit of a CRT filter. I don't know how well that's coming across. Usually streaming doesn't really care for CRT filters. But it doesn't seem to be affecting the gameplay. I am very out of practice on this game. I never did that. I was so little when they were doing that I never had the chance, really. I think by the time I got Sword Quest, the whole contest was basically done and over. Alright, that's enough Galaga. We're going to try this big box mode. I really hope big box works. So as I mentioned, big box really just it just didn't have the performance to run big box on the previous handheld. Now, I don't think this is actually a replacement of the Win 2 specifically. There's a lot of rumors kicking around they're going to make a Win 3 that will be closer in form factor to the Win 2. But honestly, having the bigger screen, having even more battery and more power definitely seems like a pretty fair compromise to me. And we're loading. That's impressive if you complete any of those. Those those were all those patches back then were like endurance challenges, since there was no pause button. There was, well, on the 7800 there was, but on the 2600 there's no pause button, there's no save, nothing. And there's no saves on the 7800 either. Alright, we're off to a good start. Got the... Oh yes, let's play Virtual Boy. That's a sure way to run people off this video. I'm gonna go find another game I actually own. I think that camera is frozen again. Great. I mean, it's definitely heavier than like your, yeah, I don't know why my hands aren't moving. This is definitely heavier than, I'm gonna try switching back. Yeah, the desk camera seems to not like me tonight, and it keeps freezing, unfortunately, but, this could be a worse picture, but, it's definitely heavier than like a 3DS XL. Grab my... Alright, so for comparison, there we go. So it is lighter than a MacBook Pro 13. So I would say, you know, it's probably about like the netbooks, maybe slightly heavier than the netbooks that used to be about this size. Pretty similar in weight to like my iPad Pro with the keyboard. But I would say when I'm holding it, it doesn't, you know, I'll let you guys know what I think, but when I'm holding it, it doesn't feel bad to hold. The screen is light, which is really important, because if you've ever played with like a game controller holding your cell phone, the cell phone's lighter than this, but holding it is far less comfortable because you have all this weight just pushing like that. So since the screen's pretty light, this isn't bad, but it's definitely it is definitely heavy for a handheld. Let's be honest, it's big for a handheld. So, but it is, you know, so far I think it's, you know, I'm holding it in my hands to play right now, and it's not bothering me. There we go. I actually just bought Lion King over at Doc's Games yesterday, so I do have an actual cartridge of it. So we're gonna play Lion King. See how this plays.
It starts.
Alright, we got the buttons sort of figured out. Alright, this is quite smooth so far. I am probably running this on SNES 9X because the previous As mentioned, oh, forgot porcupine's hurt. As mentioned, the smaller one just really isn't that powerful. I am very bad at this game. I will actually be streaming Lion King at some point in the future. I am planning to purchase an analog. What are they called? Super NT. Unfortunately, they're out of stock on those right now. So once the Super NT comes out, I'm actually going to be streaming some of these. Oh, I died. Some of these classic games. So coming up eventually, coming up probably later this week, it will be an unboxing and some gameplay from the Mega SG from Analog. And later this year is definitely the Analog NT Mini. Mine doesn't ship until November, and hopefully somewhere soon after those, I will get to order a Super NT and an Analog Pocket. But unfortunately, the Analog Pocket's not even going to be shipping until 2021. Let's give this something a little harder. It. Sega Saturn. No one wants to play Jaguar. To be honest. But Saturn might be the toughest thing I have on here to emulate. No, I don't need that right now. Okay, this will be interesting because neither of these games have run super well on desktops on this emulator, if I recall correctly. So I'm curious what this will even do. It is loading. Honestly, so far this isn't bothering me holding it, but I do have, I am sitting in a very ergonomic chair. While this is loading, I'll talk about my chair, because again, that's definitely what everyone's here for. But this is a Steelcase gesture chair, and it's a little tricky to see, but it has armrests that are, come on, refocus. One day I'll have a real camera. Okay, we're going to go with blurry cam, but the armrests are very adjustable, and that's part of the beauty of the gesture chairs. I can actually quickly adjust these armrests for something like using a tablet or a laptop and have my elbows nicely supported so my shoulders are relaxed while I'm doing this. And okay, the blurriness is bothering the heck out of me, but it is a very nice chair. It is well worth the cost. You only have one back, and this chair is a 12-year warranty. So you do the math, it's expensive, but it's well worth it. Let's go back to here. So unfortunately, it looks like it's not loading. It's not gonna load Panzer Dragoon. I know it's such a great series, but it just does not look like that one's gonna work. It's just too bad, but not entirely surprising. Now it's managed to try to kill the system off. Let's just kill this. All right. Not what I meant to do. I'm gonna see. I don't recall if I have N64 on here, but let's see if I have N64 on here. I do. Okay, so this is actually some. I will do GoldenEye. Everyone loves GoldenEye. Oh look, it's detected my expansion pack. Activate maximum blurry mode. I really want to do the HDMI mod for my N64. It's just, I do have a CRT again, as Linnea will tell you. I have a CRT again, and it is big and it is kind of terrible, and it's kind of awesome at the same time, but it also doesn't go in the living room, period. I want this to load faster. Why is this not refocusing? Come on, come on, come on, camera.
Good afternoon, sir. Can I help
Smudged it or
you?
something.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
Okay.
Ah, Mr. Bond. We have a safety deposit box waiting for you.
Oh, these old games, the
I'm sorry,
controls
I
are
can't
so
help you.
bad.
Sorry to disturb you.
Single stick analog was,
I'm afraid no one gets to see Mr. Lachaise without an appointment, sir.
apparently I don't have an appointment. Do I have a gun? Can I just start shooting people? I don't remember. So I'm hoping you guys can tell. The game is running pretty smoothly. I am just terrible at playing it because it's been forever since I played
I'm
this
sorry,
game.
I can't help you.
Sorry to disturb you.
Alright, let's go back and see if the Steam games are rocking and rolling. So I do really like Launchbox. It's a very nice hub for all your emulated games. It'll grab all the artwork automatically, all the titles, everything. So it is really great for that. Let's grab my other Steam library folder real quick. Okay, so one of the games I threw on here is Secret of Mana. The remake of this actually has been challenging even for some of my full-fledged laptops to play. It's not the best optimized game. I think that's the best way to describe it. It has very few graphical options. It is a nice game, but the play experience can just be poor. So I thought that was a good game for a system like this, since it shouldn't be graphically challenging. Even if it is, it shouldn't be. So I wanted to see if this could actually play on here smoothly. This was one of my favorite games growing up. I even named the characters as if I was playing on the Super Nintendo. If this runs this smoothly, consistently, that would be wonderful. This game is unplayable on the Win 2. I don't know if you guys can hear it. There is a little bit of fan noise coming from the unit. It's not bad, but I can hear it through my headphones. I don't hear all the game audio through my headphones right now because of the way the audio is routed at the moment, but it's not too loud, but you can definitely notice it. This is really playing nice and smooth. Another great feature of this compared to the previous GPD Win is the resolution on this, I believe, is 1200 by might be higher than 1200. It's something around 1200, 1280 by 800. The old one had a 720p screen, which isn't an issue for this size, for that size of device. This isn't even an issue for this device. The screen looks very nice and crisp. But where the one challenge of the other one is that if you wanted to play PlayStation, do the in-home streaming or stream PlayStation games from your PS4 to your handheld, you had to kind of work around it a little bit because Sony, in their infinite wisdom, set up the remote play application to require a minimum resolution of 1024 by 768, which doesn't make a lot of sense in a 16 by 9 world, but that cuts out 720p displays because they're not 768. So this one will solve that issue, and I don't expect to have that issue with the Sony software. It will still need you to install some sort of a program to make it think that this the controller on the device is a PlayStation controller. I think this one's playing very nicely. So go ahead and see if I can remember how to work the menu, which would be bad. I have played this one recently. Here we go. I'm going to quit the game. We're going to throw a real challenge at this now. We're going to try Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Hopefully. Scroll for me. I thought, where is my Shadow of the Tomb Raider? There it is. All right. Now this is a game I actually bought not too long ago, but haven't played yet, so I don't know what to expect with this for anything. I will just be happy if it looks reasonable while playing instead of having to go and download a potato mode mod. It's missing the executable. I may have pulled the drive before it finished copying to the thumb drive. All right, I'm not gonna make everyone wait around while I verify the integrity. So I'm sure I will play more in the coming days and weeks. So if anyone would like to see me do another stream and demo any particular games, certainly let me know. I'm gonna do Sonic CD real quick just to see how it looks, and then I think that'll be the last game I try. Oh, that one's missing the executable too. All right, so I'm not gonna do Sonic CD. Do I have Goat Simulator ready to go? Maybe. Try one more 3D game if it works. Yeah, definitely let me know what you'd like to see, what you'd like me to try. As I mentioned, I have the Mega SG coming. I believe it's supposed to be delivered Thursday, so I'll try to do an unboxing Thursday evening on the Mega SG. I have the Game Gear adapter and the Mega Drive adapter, or not Mega Drive, the Master System adapter. So I will be able to try the Mega SG with the Game Gear game, with some Sega Genesis games, and I have all of one Game Gear and all of one Master System game at the moment. All right, I apparently am not going to have success with Goat Simulator immediately tonight. I will try that another night. So that's kind of disappointing, but um, this is impressive. They're just, some of these games may need. Unfortunately, I copied them to a thumb drive right before while I was on my Korean lesson. I don't believe all of them finished copying, which may be some of the errors, but hopefully everyone saw Secret of Mana is running well, which is kind of amazing. N64 is running well on emulation. Saturn not so much at the moment, but in the coming days and weeks, I'll be playing with this more and more. So again, if there's anything you guys would like to see from an emulation front, specific PC games, let me know. I'm happy to show off the device further and let you know what I think as I spend more time with it and how much fatigue it is, because it's not the lightest device, but it's a huge step up. The keyboard is usable for typing out short emails instead of text messages. It's just a nice system. So, thank you for watching, and I hope everyone enjoyed this and have a great rest of your night.